Shandy, don't you dare. You lay down. Good girl. What a good girl. What a good girl she is. No, not over here. Over there, baby. Lay down. Go lay down. Hi friends, welcome or welcome back. I'm MC, a knit and crochet designer from Connecticut, and you can find me on Instagram and Ravelry as Blame the Knots, on my website blametheknots.com, and of course right here on YouTube where you can get to know me a little bit better. This is episode 16 of the podcast, and it's probably going to be a pretty short and sweet one today. This is actually being filmed not too many days after I filmed my last episode, so there's not a ton that has changed, and I realized that I'm wearing the same thing I wore in the last video I posted, and these were filmed on different days. I just can't stop wearing it. So let's talk about it. What I'm wearing is my second version of my super fluffy sweater, which is a design by me that is currently in testing, and I will stand up really quickly for you. So I'm not standing, that's a lie. I'm just propping myself up in my chair. This is made with Bernat Pipsqueak yarn, which is a blanket yarn that is made for babies. And I wanted to make something for myself because it's so soft and squishy and amazing. And this is a design that's going to have two different options for the neckline. Both of them are pretty open. But if you've seen the first version that I made of this, that's purple and green, you'll see that the neckline on that one is a little bit wider. And the first one that I made, I can actually wear it off the shoulder if I want to. This one I cannot, but it's still a really nice open neckline. Something else that I'm wearing is some earrings that I just finished making, and these are a prototype that of an idea that I had that I really have been wanting to make as earrings and stitch markers. So I'm not sure how well it's going to show up, but these earrings say knit and purl on them. And this has just been an idea that has been kind of sitting in my brain for a little while, and I finally got a chance to play around today, and they could use some refining. I think I would like to do some different things with them. I can't get this one back in my ear. I have some different ideas of stuff that I would like to do, but this pair is just for me, and I will be messing around with some other stuff and probably getting them into a shop update coming pretty soon. So let me know if you like them, and let me know if there's anything else that you would like to see that I have been making lately. I'm gonna have some more time coming up to make jewelry and stitch markers and yarn and other stuff like that. And I've been having so much fun playing with it, and so I would like to share it with the world. So that will be coming probably in February, but that's going to be here really soon. So let me know. Okay, so let's move into finished objects, and I really only have one finished object today knitting wise, and that is because I have pretty much only been working on one thing, and that is a second version of my second Avenue sweatshirt. And this is, let me hold it up for you first, making sure I got the front facing you. This is my second one, and I finished this in a week. Literally start to finish. I finished it, I'm filming this on Monday. I finished it yesterday, and I started it last Sunday. So I finished this within a week, which is just absolutely wild to me. So this is a pattern by Bree of the Little Wolf Knits, and this is actually also using Bree's yarn as well. So the color that I use for my main color is Ginger Cookies, and the contrast color is Blueberry. And what I did for this version is I did not swatch. I held fingering weight double for this one instead of using boucle like I did with my first version or a DK weight yarn. And I went up 2 needle sizes from what the pattern suggests, and that is honestly just because I couldn't find the right size needle. It was on another project and I couldn't figure out which project it was on, and I didn't feel like taking the time to look for it. So I just grabbed the closest thing I could find and I figured it would be fine. And it pretty much was. I knit a few inches and then I checked my gauge just to make sure I wasn't wildly off course. Basically I was a little bit off, but not enough to concern me. So I think I was like half a stitch off for every 4 inches, which is going to change the size of the garment. I felt confident enough in my knowledge of how it would fit and how much the sizing would be changed that I felt comfortable going forward with it. So this version is smaller than my pink one that you may have already seen, but I'm okay with that. I love it. I love the way it fits. It's nice and cozy. This one still, as you can tell, I still have stitch markers in it, and there are tails that need to be snipped and it needs to be blocked. But I really wanted to show it today, so I didn't want to soak it just yet. I wanted it to be dry so that I could show it. But it's done, just needs to be blocked, and I'm so excited. I cannot wait to wear it. As soon as I'm done filming, it's probably going to go right into a bath to get blocked because I really want to wear it this week as soon as it is dry. The next thing that I have to show is a finished object, but it is not knitting, it is spinning. And now brace yourselves because this might be one of the funniest skeins of yarn that you've ever seen. Okay, ready? Look at how big this is. Look at how big this is compared to my head. I can't handle it. Like, okay, I just have a skein of yarn sitting over here. This is a regular 100 gram skein of yarn. And look at what I made. Right? I think this has to be my thumbnail or something. Thumbnail break over. This is 8 ounces of fiber. So I wasn't really thinking when I hanged this up, and I forgot that 4 ounces is 100 grams. And so I was basically making, well, 4 ounces is actually more like 115, I think, grams. So I was basically making a 230 gram skein of yarn. But whatever, I did it. So it's done. This is using 2 different colors of Corriedale wool that I got from Lyman's Sleighbell farm, who was a vendor at Rhinebeck, and I am pretty proud of this. It still needs to be soaked. This also needs to take a bath as soon as I'm done with this video, but I wanted it to be dry enough for me to show you, so I will hold it a little bit closer. There are definitely, you know, some spots that could be better, and some spots that are decent, I think. But I don't know. I'm pretty sure I showed this on the last one, and you might have been able to tell that it was pretty loosely plied. So what I did is I actually ran this whole thing, everything through my wheel again to add some extra twist into it and ply it a little bit better, and I think that it definitely came out looking so much better than it had before. And some of these squiggly bits will hopefully even out when it takes a bath. But I'm pretty proud of my first like really big spin. This is the first time I've done 8 ounces for one project, and I love it. It's really squishy and I'm super happy about it. Also, I did want to show one other thing related to this. Pardon the noise for a second. Oh, okay, that didn't make as much noise as I thought it was going to. But I hanged this up using my new Niddy Noddy that my husband made me for Christmas. This is just some PVC, and so I can rotate it and it just folds flat and I can just like tuck it into my closet really easily. And then when I want to use it as a niddy natty, I can twist the top and bottom so that it functions like a niddy natty. My husband also made a couple of different cuts of PVC for me. So this one is basically going to get me a 2-yard loop of yarn. So this is a 2-yard niddy natty. I also have a center length that will get me 1 yard. No. Well, yes, I have a center length that will get me 1.5 yards, and I have another small one that will get me 1 yard. So when I have things like, you know, maybe only like 1 ounce of fiber or something like that, I'll use my 1 yard length to get me a tiny little nugget of a hank. So I am really grateful to my husband for making this for me so that I didn't have to go buy a fancy niddy natty, and it works perfectly. And I love that it folds flat like this and I can just tuck it away and it doesn't get in my way. So I'm now looking forward to scanning up some more yarn that I make, because it will be a lot easier now that I have my niddy natty. And yeah, I can't wait to get this soaked and see how it turns out after the fact. And yeah, I love it. I'm super proud of myself. Oh boy. Okay, my battery died, so you might be at a slightly different angle. I definitely thought I had it charging for longer than I did, so oops. One day I will get another battery and this will not be as big of a problem. I've been doing good lately, but today was just not my day. Moving into whips, I wanted to show you my progress on my Fluff Around and Find Out, which is a pattern that is in testing by Mac Dye Conley. Mac has a YouTube channel called Made by Mac and is Mac Dye Conley on Instagram. And this is using Sorella yarn in the colorway Maui. And this is a really fun pattern. I am about halfway through my first sleeve now, and I can't wait to finish it. I'm really hoping to finish this. Shandy. Yeah, I thought so. No, 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 no. Go lay down. Sorry. I'm hoping to finish this in the next like 2 weeks, which I know is doable. I just, I have multiple projects that I want to finish in the next 2 weeks. And I know that crochet can sometimes get me and cause a little bit more pain for me. So hopefully this will get done maybe by the next time I see you. And I can't wait. I am loving it. It's a great pattern. The sleeves, the way that the sleeves are done is kind of genius. I was really impressed with the instructions. It took me a second to figure them out because it's not something I've ever done before, but once I did, man, I was like, wow, that is so smart, and it works perfectly. My next work in progress that I wanted to show is my Doppio sweater, and this is a pattern by Seunghee Knits, and it is going great. I just split for the sleeves, and I'm now just working my way through the body. I am using a white yarn that I can't remember the name of. I know the colorway name is Snowy Owl, and I can't remember the brand name. Swan something. Swan Island? Something like that. And it's just like a bare white yarn, and I'm holding it with Can You Show Me One Thing on Surrey from the Little Wolf Knits, and it's working up beautifully. I will show you a little bit closer how it's working up. I love it. It's so great. And this is something that I'm just kind of picking up and working on when I need a little bit of stockinette, especially now that I am past sleeve separation. It's just something that kind of sits in my usual knitting spot, and I grab it when the mood strikes. You know, the past week it's really been focused on my second Ave Sweatshirt, but I think now the focus will probably shift towards this for my knitting, so hopefully that will be done soon. But I'm not putting a deadline on this one. I'm definitely just kind of letting this be and taking it one day at a time and just kind of working on it when I feel like working on it. I have no other whips to show you today. I have no more spinning whips either. Everything is kind of status quo in terms of spinning from what I showed last time, so there's nothing new in that world. So moving into what I have been reading. Firstly, I finished The Girl from Widow Hills by Megan Miranda, and this is my, I think, 4th or 5th Megan Miranda book. I really enjoyed this one. I definitely kind of guessed one of the big twists in it, but I still really enjoyed it. I thought it was a clever book and definitely had some interesting twists and turns and psychological thriller kind of moments in there. And I really enjoyed the use of an unreliable narrator that wasn't someone that was abusing substances. That seems like a trope that happens a lot, is the unreliable female narrator that's relying on some kind of substance to get through the day, usually alcohol. And it was very refreshing to have an unreliable narrator that had something else going on that was causing them to be unreliable, and it wasn't substance abuse, which was very nice. I very much enjoyed that. I think I gave that one 4 stars out of 5, just because it wasn't my favorite thing ever, but I did really enjoy the way that the story was told. I thought it was very clever and well written. Next, I actually started a whole bunch of books, one of which is Skein of the Crime by Maggie Sefton, which is book 8 in the knitting mystery series. This is a series that I'm slowly working my way through, and a lot of people in the knitting community have been working their way through it over the years. I have read several of these books before, but I have not read them all in order. So I started at the beginning, and I've been working my way through them slowly but surely. I read one every couple of months. And so I am working through book 8. This is one that I have already read in the past, so I'm familiar with the story, and so I'm listening to it kind of quickly and just kind of working my way through, getting myself to the point where I can pick up the next book, which is one that I haven't read. So I'm about halfway through right now and enjoying it. Next, I started Happy Place by Emily Henry, and I actually hate romance books, but Emily Henry's romances are one of the only ones that I enjoy reading. So I'm enjoying this one. I have maybe an hour and a half left, so I'm almost done with it. It is not my favorite one of her books so far, but it is still really good. I still think her writing is very well done, and I'm definitely enjoying it. It feels a little weird to be reading it in the winter. I feel like her books are definitely, they have more of a summery vibe, but this was when it came in from the library, so this is when I'm reading it. So yeah, I'm enjoying it. Not my favorite, but we'll see. Maybe the last hour and a half of the book will change that for me. And the last book that I'm reading is The One by John Mars. And this is a kind of, I don't know what it would be classified as. It has a tiny bit of a sci-fi touch to it because it's a story in which a gene has been isolated that will tell you your perfect match. So people can send in a cheek swab, get their DNA tested, and they will be matched with the person who their genes say is a absolute perfect match for them. And the story follows several different characters and their journeys of finding their match. There's a little bit of mystery, there's a little bit of intrigue. It's not a romance story, even though this is a story of several people finding their true match. There's a little bit of suspense in there. It's definitely a story about, is this the right thing to be doing? Should people be matched up based on their DNA? Should we be messing with people's lives like this? Or is just letting people just find their mate naturally the way to go? So it's interesting so far. I'm like 30% of the way through, I think, at this point, and I'm enjoying it. Like, just about every chapter ends on a cliffhanger, so it definitely keeps me reading and keeps me interested. And it really, other than the fact that the book is based on a gene that's been identified to match people, there's nothing else sci-fi about it. That's the only science-y thing, is the basic premise of what's starting these stories. But other than that, there's no more sci-fi in it. So it's definitely more, I would say, like intrigue, suspense, that kind of thing. Okay, now time for a quick little channel update. I posted last week part 2 of my YouTube channels that I think that you should watch series. And again, thank you so much for the lovely response. I have so much fun doing those because I don't tell anyone that they're going to be mentioned beforehand, and so they just get a little surprise notification saying that I'm talking about them, and I try my best to say very nice things because I mean them. So it always makes me smile to give a couple people a little smile in their day. And I love that people have more recommendations for me. I love hearing what you have to say about all of the channels that I mention and about your favorite channels too. So thank you so much for your response to that. And I will also link that one so that if you haven't seen it yet, you can go check it out and see what channels I mentioned. I am actually not sure exactly what the next couple weeks are going to bring in terms of videos on the channel. I have a bunch of things planned, but I'm not actually sure when I'm going to be able to sit down and film another podcast. So it might be 2 more weeks without a podcast before I come back, but I do have some other fun videos for you, and then I will have a lot of stuff to talk about on the next podcast episode. Because in between now and when I film the next podcast episode, I am going to be doing a little bit of traveling. I am going to be meeting some really cool yarny people. I'm going to be doing a lot of making. I'm going to be doing a lot of creating. It's going to be a wild couple of weeks. And yeah, I can't wait. It's going to be super exciting. So I will have a vlog of all of that coming for you soon. But yeah, I can't commit to any dates yet because I'm not exactly sure what's going on when, but stay tuned because it's definitely going to be a lot of fun. So that is all I have for you today. I knew this was going to be a quick one. Didn't have a ton to talk about because I really spent the past week just working on one thing. So I hope that you enjoyed. Thanks for sticking around. Please like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed it or if you want to see more videos from me. And until next time, take care of you and I will see you later. Bye-bye.